That's why I cannot stress it enough. You should have some form of a weapon on you. Now, personally, I'm not going here without a grip. A bat, knife might not do it for me. I see that, I shoot that. I see that, I shoot that. Because if I shoot that and the bullets go through it, we know what we're dealing with. That is not human. Yo, YouTube, what's the word? It's your boy Mobzi, back in the game with another banger. And in this video we're gonna be reacting to the 6 most disturbing abandoned building encounters caught on camera. So yeah, this is something new. Obviously, I told you guys once again, we are taking a new route when it comes to content. If I want to post Elden Ring, I'm gonna post Elden Ring. Want to do a reaction video? You're gonna get a reaction video. I feel like, especially right now, as a small creator, if you're doing COD, you are really limiting yourself. But we talked about that in the last couple of videos. You guys know the vibes. I've been having more fun switching it up. You know, maybe COD might come back, but I think I'm gonna keep switching it up. It makes it way more fun, way more flexible, way less stressed on dropping a gameplay. If you guys know, you know how SBMM does to you guys, especially stressing to drop a gameplay. Without further ado, guys, hope you guys do enjoy the video. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you are new. We'll be posting a lot of fun shit, I ain't gonna lie. So definitely subscribe, you don't want to miss out. And yeah, hope you guys do enjoy. Catch you guys.
More extreme abandoned buildings in the US. From abandoned mental hospitals to decommissioned military facilities, Chris explores all of it, but specifically places that a lot of even the more extreme explorers wouldn't visit.
I ain't gonna lie. Anybody that does videos like this, where they gotta go to haunted buildings, I give credit to y'all, because I'm not doing it. We all watch horror movies before. We always know. They always go for the black guy first. They always go for the black guy first.
It's facts! It's not facts. These facts are not facts.
For some reason, they want to kill us off first. With that being said, I'm not going. I'm gonna stay home. Y'all enjoy y'all haunted house visitations. I'll pass.
At least not at night and alone like Chris always does. In January 2023, he uploaded footage of his visit to the now abandoned Paul Revere Elementary School in Cleveland. After almost a century of use, the school was permanently closed in 2015 due to declining enrollment numbers.
I wonder why.
Although there are allegedly plans to turn the abandoned building into a housing complex, as of 2024, Paul Revere Elementary is still abandoned and in terrible shape. From the moment Chris walks inside, it's pretty clear that the place hasn't been used in years and has been severely damaged by the elements, vandals, and the passage of time. The bottom floors are all flooded, the walls are peeling, the structure doesn't seem too sound, and there's rust, random papers, books, and all kinds of debris lying everywhere.
Why not just break it
Throughout the
down?
video, you can see messages written in seemingly fresh chalk on some of the whiteboards, confirming that people have been in the building recently. This was actually
2015?
Chris's second visit to Paul Revere Elementary. When he uploaded footage of his March 2022 visit to the school, several people in the comments mentioned they had either been students or teachers at the school and talked about how incredibly sad it was to see their beloved childhood school ruined by abandonment and lack of maintenance. A little after 10 minutes into the exploration, you can hear some sort of ruffling sound and other strange noises coming from somewhere in the schoolhouse.
You know I gotta pause it. You know that. Because if I hear a sound, you're not even gonna hear my footsteps if I'm in that building. At that point, we in Dragon Ball Z, I'm instant transmission. Word. I don't know, bro. Y'all got too much heart and soul. And this is why I be seeing y'all on the news that something happened to y'all. I just gotta be safe when y'all do this, because this is bad work.
Do you hear that?
As Chris turns a corner in the hallway, another person's flashlight can be seen shining down the
And hold on. Why do people, when they go to haunted or abandoned buildings, why do they not bring some form of protection if things went wrong? If you don't got a grip, bring a knife, a bat. Not saying it's gonna happen, but bring something that if was to happen, you can defend yourself. So you're not just sitting there weaponless. Now you in another part 3 of Outlast. Drop evidence. Oh! I don't know, bro.
hall. It looks to be just one person who was likely either another urban explorer or a squatter. Still, at 1 a.m. in an abandoned building, it's obviously best to avoid drawing unwanted attention to yourself,
1 a.m.
especially when you don't know the other
1 a.m.
person's
is bad word.
intentions, which is why Chris ultimately decided to run instead of making his presence known. Making sure to walk in the other direction
Again, your
to avoid
flashlight is
running
still
into
on.
anyone, he then heads to the library and explores the rest of the top floors. As he goes into the bathroom on the top floor, he has another encounter.
That scared me. I'm just watching the video. My mans, run that back. Pause. That's why I cannot stress it enough. You should have some form of a weapon on you. Now, personally, I'm not going here without a grip. A bat, knife might not do it for me. I see that, I shoot that. I see that, I shoot that. Because if I shoot that and the bullets go through it, we know what we're dealing with. That is not human. And also, I ain't gonna lie, your best weapon, you probably want to bring a grip and the Bible. You might want to pray if you do decide to do this. And bring that grip. Because the bullets ain't stopping that. Only thing stopping that is that book, that Bible, that man above. 'Cause other than that, you're cooked. Telling y'all, get with it.
Somebody's in there.
No. Somebody or something? Definitely somebody or something.
Out of me. Oh, man.
At the far end of the bathroom, what appears to be a human silhouette can be seen standing completely motionless. After the initial shock of the encounter, Chris draws his gun and goes back inside to confront the man.
Hello?
Back inside?
Is this nigga serious?
This is how horror movies begin. What?
Oh, it's a f***ing toy.
Oh. But still, why would you even go back?
Oh my god, that scared the...
Why would you even go back to even try to see what it was? I would have ran, bro. Forget the toy.
As it turns out, the silhouette was actually a scary mannequin that somebody set up, probably to scare away visitors. What's most eerie is that even though we can't know for sure how long the mannequin had been standing there before the footage was shot, for some reason it fell forward just in time for Chris to see it, the most reasonable explanation being from the sound waves bouncing off the wall. Most people would have left as soon as they saw the mannequin, but Chris continued to explore the rest of
That man's a smart man. He said most people would have left as soon as they saw the mannequin. Listen, I didn't care if it was a mannequin, a person. I don't care. The eyes was glowing. It was standing. It's looking at me in an abandoned building. I don't have time to play. You think listen, if I was one of these YouTubers that do this type of stuff, I don't know if I'll ever do this. I ain't gonna lie. I don't have that in me. I don't. I would, bro, All I'm saying, bro, hit the gym, hit the treadmill. Because you're going to need to be running. Because I'm going to be out of there. I'm booking. Out of there. There's no reason I should have. Listen, y'all know that. Just don't go back and look at the same thing you just seen threatening for the sake of your life.
The school, seemingly unmoved by the horrifying experience he just went through.
Stood it back
not
up?
before clearing the entire rest of the bathroom. Sadly, some of the rooms in the school are filled with books, whiteboards, and other perfectly usable materials that could have been donated to another school before the building was abandoned. But nobody seemed to care enough to give them away before the school was abandoned. About half an hour into the visit, Chris climbs up to the roof, which in itself is pretty risky. Even if you don't care about
that
getting
roof is
caught by
bad
the
work. I wouldn't even
cops,
climb
there's
that.
still a very high risk of the roof caving in, especially
True.
considering the state of the building when the footage was shot. Fortunately, he was able to climb down safely, but that's when a strange noise could be heard coming from the other end of one of the hallways.
Safe is still here. I wonder what's in it.
Like a dog. Hold on. Can I see that? Look in the mirror. Look in the window. Look in the window. He's gonna turn back around. He game. If anything, I'll zoom it in on the video. I'll zoom it in, but I'm saying I don't play
As
around.
Chris explores one of the rooms, a strange howl
And why would
can be
you
heard in
not
the distance. And as
visit
he
this with
raises his
multiple
camera,
people?
you can clearly see a shadow moving behind
At least
the
like
door on the far end of
five
the
people,
room.
6 people.
By this point, it's pretty clear that not only are multiple other people in the building with him, but now he's possibly being stalked. Once again, Chris draws his gun and prepares for an encounter, but he doesn't find anyone in any of the rooms. After this, he admits he's ready to call it a night and decides to head home, but not before this final encounter.
This place is weird as hell. Oh, here it is. This place is crazy. I remember the last time I explored it. Hello?
Hello. Hello. Hello does not stop anything. They know you're there already. You have a flashlight. You don't need to say hello. They would have said that to you, gang.
Hello? What? Okay, I know I heard somebody coming down these stairs. I'm out.
Exactly. Be out. Be out.
As he struggles to find his way out of the school, the sound of footsteps can be clearly heard on the stairway directly above Chris's head. But after running up and calling out to see if he gets a response, nobody acknowledges him. Luckily, he was able to walk away unharmed and has continued to upload videos of his visits to abandoned places pretty frequently.
Good. You see out of there.
The Proper People is an urban exploration channel owned by Brian and Michael, two friends who travel the world in search of abandoned buildings. For the past 10 years that their channel has been active, Brian and Michael have built up a reputation for being a trustworthy channel that only uploads genuine footage of their explorations. In a niche of YouTube that's often plagued by cheap, fake footage from people trying to get their 15 minutes of fame, The Proper People has endured as one of the most reliable channels in the urbex space. They
Okay.
gained their fame from explorations of genuinely cool places instead of faking creepy encounters or anything of the such. In 2016, they uploaded a video of their nighttime visit to the Jemison Center in Northport, Alabama, often referred to as Old Bryce Hospital. From 1939 to 1977, the Jemison Center housed hundreds of psychiatric patients and acquired a reputation for treating them pretty harshly. Often referred to as the creepiest building in Alabama, Old Bryce was closed in the late 70s and has since been reclaimed by nature and become a hotspot for urban explorers from all over the world. As Michael and Brian approach the location in their car, there doesn't seem to be anyone around, and after driving around the grounds for a while, the two YouTubers get out of their vehicle to begin exploring, settling on the basement as the first area to explore. After more than 4 decades of abandonment, the entire complex is almost completely destroyed, and while some of the walls are completely covered in all kinds of graffiti, some of them aren't even there anymore. With the state of disrepair of the Jemison Center, there's always a chance that the structure could collapse on itself and trap Brian and Michael inside. But as they go up the stairs to explore the top floor, it becomes clear that an unsound structure is the least of their worries.
Oh, look at this. Look at this staircase out here.
Okay.
There's somebody there. No way.
I didn't even see him.
Yes, I see their light. They're out there. I swear on my life. Right there. I hear him. Should I say hello?
Don't. No. Yeah.
There's somebody out there. Let's go back to the car.
Yep. Smart choice.
This way.
Smart.
There's somebody wanting to talk to us.
Let's go to the car now.
Oh yeah.
As the camera pans to the window, the outline of a person holding up a light can be seen on the staircase on the opposite side of the building. Disturbingly, as soon as the uploaders turn off their light, the other person does the exact same thing, indicating they were watching and didn't want to be spotted. Chillingly, if you rewind the footage to when the YouTubers arrived at the top floor, you can clearly see a light outside the window frame, but it's unclear if the light was coming from the same person who was watching them. After calling out and receiving no response, Brian and Michael decide to go back to their car to avoid getting jumped or worse. It's hard to know what exactly the intentions of the other person were, but what's even more disturbing is the fact that there were no other cars in the area when they arrived and when they left.
That's a
which means
fact,
that
no
whoever was
cars.
there had arrived on foot and probably been there for a while.
Yeah, nah, get out of there.
Ridgely Hospital was a women's psychiatric hospital in Lancaster, UK that operated for almost 100 years from 1916 to 2013. Famous for being one of the first psychiatric hospitals in the UK that fought for the humane treatment of mentally ill patients, Ridgely Hospital housed thousands of patients and used modern treatment methods such as electroconvulsion therapy to help patients with a range of disorders, from severe depression to obsession to mania. In April 2022, YouTuber Exploring with Tom visited the site with 3 of his friends in the middle of the night. Throughout their visit,
At least they're like 4 deep though. At least they have friends. The other guy was completely by himself, which is not smart at all.
Keep in mind that most of these abandoned buildings are still considered government property, which makes it illegal to trespass and explore the grounds. Still, if you disturb a hostile squatter's home by being obnoxiously loud, getting arrested would probably be the least of your worries.
I'm not scared of you.
Well, I am scared of you.
I think someone is here now, to be honest with you.
After hearing some strange noises coming from one of the rooms, the 4 explorers call out to see if there's anyone in the building, and this is where things get a little disturbing.
Boy, be careful. There's someone there. Let's see what it is. It might need help.
Might need help.
Hello? What?
Hold on. Sorry to pause again. From this squad of 4 guys, you already did better than the guy that was by himself. You heard something? They said something? It scared you? And y'all all ran. I gotta clap it up for y'all. Because the guy that was by himself, with no weapons probably, went back. Thank God it was a mannequin.
Everyone okay? Everyone okay? Keep calm. Keep calm. Keep calm. Man, what the Don't hurry up. Get out. Get out. Get out. What do you want? He's right there. He's right there.
As soon as one of the teenagers calls out, a man can be heard screaming from inside the room. Without thinking twice, Tom and his friends make a run for it back to their car, but disturbingly, the man isn't satisfied with just scaring them out of the building and ends up chasing them all the way to their car. It's unknown who the man was or what he wanted from them, but one of the theories that's been echoing in the comments is that he was probably a homeless person who got upset at the amount of noise Tom and his friends were making. It's probably not too pleasant to have 4 rowdy teenagers burst into the abandoned building you call your home and start yelling, laughing, and swearing. But still, it's good they were able to get away unharmed. In 2006, a 36-year-old man named Vincent Filya was living in the woods as a fugitive near Lugoff, South Carolina after being accused of abusing his stepdaughter. In September of that same year, he saw a 14-year-old girl named Elizabeth Schoaf getting off the school bus and decided to abduct her. Posing as a police officer, Filya arrested Schoaf on a supposed marijuana charge and led her to his hideout in the middle of the woods.
Wait.
And decided to.
Did you just say he posed as a police officer and then took this little girl into custody on marijuana charges?
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Yo, the extent people will go to do sick shit is above me. I'm not gonna lie. How do you, number one, even want to deal with someone of this age? Word. And second of all, marijuana charges. Gang. You lucky she ain't no better. That's crazy. The man's sick.
Abduct her. Posing as a police officer, Filya arrested Schoaf on a supposed marijuana charge and led her to his hideout in the middle of the woods. For 10 days, Elizabeth was chained up and abused by Filya in the underground bunker beneath the hideout in what can only be described as a nightmare come true. Still, the girl was extremely resilient throughout the whole ordeal and came up with a plan to escape from the horrifying situation she found herself in. If she wanted to escape, Elizabeth knew that she had to get Vincent to like her. For several days, she pretended to be in love with Filya, and eventually the kidnapper lowered his guard, even unchaining her and allowing her to play games on his phone. One night, while Vincent was sleeping, the teenager got a hold of his phone and sent a text to her mom saying she was in a hole across the Charm Hill, that there was a bomb, and to call the police. As it was later revealed, Filya had planned to draw in as many people as possible to the bunker to detonate a bomb and take the lives of the responding officers. However, he never managed to carry out his plan, for just a few minutes later the area was surrounded by helicopters and he was forced to surrender. To make a long story short, Elizabeth was able to move on with her life.
That's
The monster
traumatizing.
named Vincent Filya spent the rest of his life in prison, where he died in 2021 in his cell. In December 2023,
I can't say he didn't deserve
a
it. I'm just
YouTuber
being
named
honest.
Big Banks visited the abandoned hideout where the terrifying crime took place. Immediately upon entering the house, the uploader finds something extremely disturbing.
I think this was the little girl's backpack that was left here. What a sad sight to see, knowing that that happened.
A little girl's backpack can be seen on the floor outside the kitchen. Although it's impossible to confirm if it belonged to Elizabeth Schoaf, it
Looks
is
pretty brand
possible
new.
that it was planted there after the crime by somebody else. As he explores the living room, the uploader finds more creepy stuff, including a DVD of the horror movie The Strangers, a Halloween decoration next to one of the couches, a shank, a broken baseball bat, and a ripstick. Obviously, the fact that these
terrifying.
items were left
That's
behind
not
is
terrifying.
much more disturbing when you consider the history of the house. It's heartbreaking to imagine that some of the toys lying around the floor possibly belonged to the girl that Vincent Filya had stolen. Throughout the rest of the house, several objects and pieces of furniture, including the bed in the main room, look like they were placed there much later than 2006. It's possible that the house was occupied by squatters, but because it was empty at the time the footage was shot, it's impossible to know what belonged to Filya, his common-law family, his victim, and the squatters. Thankfully, after being reunited with her family in 2006, Elizabeth went on to live a fruitful life, and the man who committed the heinous crime against her paid the price for it. Holton Avenue is a notoriously creepy abandoned street in Cleveland, Ohio. In 1913,
Nobody knows I looked at the camera like that. I actually got a boy that lives in Ohio. My boy, if you see this, that's what you got going on in your streets? Abandoned, creepy streets? Come back to New York sounds like a good idea. I'm just saying, creepy streets, like, nobody come down. You don't see that in New York. I wouldn't want to get caught lacking out there, personally.
the first Hungarian Baptist church was built on that street, eventually falling into disuse and being left abandoned like the rest of the buildings on that street. In April 2016, the body of a woman named Jessica Coleman was found there after she went missing, but unfortunately her attacker was never found.
Ever?
In July 2023, Chris Hill went to the location to record footage of the abandoned church, as well as the rest of the buildings on Holton Avenue. From disturbing graffiti to broken glass and peeling walls, the church checks every box you would expect from a creepy, abandoned building. As he ventures into the basement, Chris finds signs that someone else had been inside the church, including an action figure of Melvin the giraffe from Madagascar that he mentions he doesn't remember seeing the last time he visited the location. Knowing that he's often not alone during his explorations, Chris set up several cameras throughout the church, and about 10 minutes into the exploration, one of the cameras on the main floor captures something pretty creepy.
That's weird.
Oh.
What's upstairs?
Obviously, doors don't just randomly shut themselves, and as it wasn't particularly windy that night, it's clear that someone was in the church with Chris. But after looking around for a bit, he can't find anyone in the church and decides to head back outside to explore the rest of the buildings on Holton Avenue. If the church was in a messed up state, some of the houses are even worse, with most of them looking like they could collapse at any second. Around half an hour into the visit, he decides to explore one of the most dilapidated houses on the block, and as he's in the basement, the exploration takes a scary turn.
It actually looks like it's just underneath the house. It's not really a basement. Still creepy.
I'm gonna eat your ass.
Oh, hell no.
I didn't know nobody lived there.
You're a little too calm for me, bro.
It smelled like I knew somebody was in there.
As he's exploring the basement, a sound can be heard coming from the ground floor, and when he goes back up to find out what it is, a person pulls back the curtain. Immediately apologizing, Chris runs back out to the street, and that's when he realizes that despite the horrible state of the supposedly abandoned house, there was actually someone living in there with electricity. Clearly most, if not all of the abandoned buildings on the block were housing people now who didn't want him there, something he never encountered on his first visit. And with this newfound discovery, Chris called it a night.
Yeah, I would too. I would too. Knowing that people actually live in there, I'm good.
Urban explorer Rhythm Rider explored an abandoned house at an undisclosed location with his exploration partner Zay Clark. According to Rhythm, the house used to belong to an old woman who had passed away. In complete contrast to most abandoned houses, most of the woman's possessions had been left untouched, indicating that the house had not yet fallen prey to looters and squatters who often take things that aren't theirs. All throughout the house, the two explorers find everything from beautiful tableware and silverware to ornately woven tapestries and a fully equipped bar. Based on the calendars they found in the house, the property hadn't been occupied since August 2018. Just a few minutes into the visit, Rhythm and Zay find something incredibly sad and disturbing.
Always been worried about something like this happening, and then it did. When we walked in here, we took a few steps in the door, and we saw this on the ground. Now, for those who can't figure that, figure out what that is a body stain.
I'm about to say, it looks like a body
And
stain.
you can see right there, there's a walker. So, unfortunately, it seems that the woman who had lived here had taken a bad fall, landed on the floor, and that's where she expired, unfortunately. It's extremely sad to us. It took us a good 20 minutes to decide what we're going to do here, and despite it feeling weird, we figured we still need to tell the story because this is a good reminder to everybody that you need to check on your loved ones. It seemed this woman had passed and was laying here for God knows how long before she was found, so check in on your loved ones, guys.
Right in the middle of the hallway, a human body stain can be seen on the floor next to a walker, indicating that the old woman probably had a bad fall and couldn't get up. Sadly, she passed away and her body decomposed before anyone could save her, which is a terrifying way to die. There appear to be signs that the woman's family members tried to sort through her things after she passed away, but overall her various belongings are in perfectly good shape, including her bathroom supplies, which were still there at the time of the recording. It's hard to watch the footage without having conflicting feelings. Even though the house is beautiful and you can easily tell that the woman who lived there with her husband was a talented, outgoing person, it's incredibly sad to see how she met her end. Overall, the footage should serve as a reminder to check in on your loved ones every time you get the chance, because nobody deserves to pass away like that. Since 2020, Ridden with Ryder hasn't gone back to that location.
Respectfully. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. It was definitely, this is different from the last two ones we did with the three horror videos. But this right here was kind of in that alley, but just a little more different. But it was definitely fun, way more entertaining than I thought it was gonna be. Honestly, it caught me off guard. And hope you guys did enjoy. We're gonna do more things like this. I don't know if you guys want to see different things, like maybe police chases, car chases, anything crazy. You guys can even send me things on my socials. It should be in the bio down below in the video. If you guys have crazy like videos you want me to review, I can do stuff like that. Send that into my my inbox on Twitter. Send it to me on Instagram, whatever, and just send it to me, and I'll check it out if it's valid for the video. Without further ado, guys, hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you are new. And as always, it's your boy Mobzi. Yeah, boys, be safe. Peace.